Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Soso, in case you ain't know so, and welcome back to another dope episode of Sports with Soso. Coming to you live, y'all. This week, the Heat have lost 3 games in a row, and Joel and I talk about their options to improve the team. We're going to sprinkle in some Panthers hockey as well, and recap an amazing UFC weekend. It's time to take a ride, y'all. Let's go! In the lab, right where we like to be, dog. What it do, my bro?
What's going on, so?
You know me, man. I'm chilling.
Happy belated, homie.
Appreciate that.
One time for the homie, you know?
Appreciate that. Everybody that came out yesterday to Tank Brewery, appreciate that. Everybody that reached out, appreciate that, man. And a special shout out to Tank Brewery, man. They held us down out there, bro. We had the 2 big tables. They had the game on. They had the audio on. Beers were flowing. People playing pool, smoking some cigars, dog. It was a vibe.
That cigar lounge is really dope, son.
How nice were those chairs in there, dog? Like I saw the dominoes table in the back, and I was like, oh yeah, that's pretty cool. And then I sat down in the chair, and I was like, yeah, I'm not trying to play dominoes.
The little dominoes table area was popping, but those chairs right around like that one big screen, there was one guy sitting down by himself, just enjoying like a scotch and a cigar.
I saw him.
And just chilling, bro. But it was really nice in there. I had no idea. I saw people walking in and out. I was like, what the hell is that? So I investigated it, and I was like, damn, this is dope to just come here and post up for maybe a Sunday night game.
Right.
You know, just come out here, chill, smoke a little stogie.
On the low ski by yourself, like, oh, you know what? I'm going to take a little night out.
A couple of the homies, you know what I mean?
No. It's a good thing for both, right? Because, like, I knew they had a cigar, like, little lounge or whatever, but I thought it was in that private room area. You know what I mean? Like, where the double doors are at. I thought it was in there, so I was like, fuck, you know, maybe you have to walk in there to get a cigar or whatever. But then I saw my brother walk in there. He's like, yo, I'm going to go check it out. And I was like, I'm going to go check it out too. We walked in there, dog, and bro, obviously it smelled good, right? Because of the cigars.
Right.
And then they had a really nice humidor, like with a nice wall and shit, bro, glass door, all the cigars, you could see them there. And then, like you said, bro, the chairs around the TV, they had the dominoes table. It's a good vibe in there, dog.
I didn't even realize like where it was. Like you drive right by it, basically.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the cigar shop is like the first thing that you would drive by, right?
Yup.
It's right in the front.
Yeah, it's right in the front. and again, it's almost like it's disguised because it doesn't have any like big windows, right? So maybe that's why you don't notice it when you drive in.
It's like in the warehouses too. So like you're looking for the brewery, you're not really looking for anything else.
Yeah.
The brewery is dope though, dog. It is. It was a good time. The beers are flowing.
That was your first time there or no?
I don't remember, dog. I've been to all these breweries at some point or another, to be honest with you. But I can't remember if I've been. I want to say I have. I want to say I've been to Tank before.
Okay.
But I love the big screens, bro. Like the projector they had too going.
Yeah, and it was crispy.
It was nice. Yeah, exactly. It was good quality. That shit was dope. To watch the game, which was kind of a dud in the beginning, it turned out to actually be a really good game. That Bucks game, right?
Hell yeah.
Bucks.
We watched Lion Bucks. And everybody in the fourth quarter, like, come on, I need this guy. And fucking Reynolds is catching touchdown and running in touchdowns and just balling out there. And I was like, bro.
Didn't you need a touchdown from, what's his face?
I needed a touchdown from, not St. Brown.
No, but Mike Evans.
Evans.
He never got it, did he?
I think he did end up getting a touchdown, but
did he?
I missed something else. Yeah. Because he's a baller, dog. And you know what? Now that you bring up Mike Evans, dog, I wonder what your take is on this, dog. I was telling Steve and Joel, shout out to the D-Boys, I was telling him, like, Mike Evans deserves to be on a better team. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Mike Evans deserves to be on a better team.
I heard rumblings of this.
Because when he was with Tom Brady, you could see what Mike Evans could do. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, he's going to run the raw, crispy route. Tom's going to put it in the area where only Mike can get it, and Mike is going up there and making amazing catches, putting up big numbers, getting mad touchdowns, right? Then you see him, what happens when he goes down to a Baker. A dog has to pull fucking Superman axe every single time. Imagine if he was on a team with like a Josh Allen, a Mahomes, you know what I'm saying? Like these elite quarterbacks, a Burrow, those guys that we talk about, and just be like, damn, that guy would put up 1,500 yards easy, you know, with 12, 13 touchdowns easy.
Even what the argument is that even with what he's had, he still put up numbers, bro. How many 1,000-yard receiving yard seasons does he have?
Yeah, but there's
no matter who the quarterback is, and he's a Super Bowl champ now too. So I think he's gotten what he deserves, bro.
Because of TBZ.
Any team would be happy to have him though, for
Hell
sure,
yeah.
bro. That guy's a legend.
And he's a free agent.
But he's also getting up there in age too. So
right.
It's not really gonna be a long-term deal, whoever.
No, and I don't think you really would want to sign him to a long-term deal, but like, again, having a wide receiver of that caliber would just do a lot for you. And I say this because we see it with Tyreek, right? Like, Tyreek had Mahomes, and it was like amazing. Came down here with Tua and continue to put up even more numbers, right? So having a good quarterback, an accurate quarterback, really matters, dog.
Yeah, but I don't know. You threw in Josh Allen in there, dog, and after what just happened,
right, with the inaccuracy
and that Sunday night game against Kansas City. I mean, the kicker's a lot to blame, I know that there's issues with that, and then the calling of the game. But at the end of the day, that's Josh Allen's team, bro.
No, and not only that, how they lost with the decision making that he did, right? We also the 50 images, right, where Diggs was open on that route, on the in-seam route, and he tried to go over the top to get the home run play to get the touchdown. If that's Tua, we're murdering that guy. What the fuck? How could not? Tua has no vision. You see, this is why he can't win games. This is blah, blah, blah. And I've said those things. But now, if we're going to burn Tua for that and we want to judge him against these type of guys, then we also have to burn Josh Allen for it, right? Because he has to be the better quarterback. If you're the elite quarterback, you can't be the guy who makes the mistakes. Mahomes didn't make the mistake in that game. And almost every time those guys play, Mahomes doesn't make the mistake. It's usually Josh Allen, right? And that's why the Bills lose. So, yeah, when you're coming up against high-level competition and you're battling a guy who's in your top three, you need to be immaculate. He wasn't. And then I don't know if people in Buffalo today are saying that he's, not the guy. He was never going to get over the hump or whatever. But I just know that if that was Tua in that situation with the Dolphins season on the line and he's making that throw, that guy's getting written about in the paper a lot. Nobody even reads the newspapers today, dog.
I mean, it should just if you're a Dolphins fan that was writing Tua off after what just happened these last few games of the season, seeing that from Josh Allen puts a lot of things in perspective. You know what I mean? Because that guy, it's like, all right, this is the year. Every year it looks like that's the year that they're primed to do it. Even after a horrible start to their year this year, they managed to turn it around and get to that position at home. Yeah. Home field advantage. So you can't talk shit now that we were on the road or the rules or the refs. Nah, dog. At this point, it's like, hasta cuando, how much more are you going to keep blaming stuff on it other than yourself, And if, like I said, if you're a Dolphins fan, it should put a lot in perspective, that this is a tough sport, a tough league.
It's not easy.
It's not easy, and you got to take what you can get. If there's any kind of positive behind what you got to kind of ride with it, dog.
No, and that just shows you that even if you have one of those elite guys, it's not a guarantee, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's still at best a 50-50 chance. Because if you're going up against somebody else that's elite, and we're going to see it next weekend, right? When you see Lamar Jackson versus Mahomes.
That's arguably the Super Bowl.
Right?
Right?
And even in the other game with Purdy and Goff, who blinks first? Who makes the mistake? Because in that 49ers game, there were a couple of throws that Purdy had out there that were not accurate, that could have been picked off and would have been game changers.
Yeah, the Lions D is looking good right now.
And I'm just saying, like, you're giving teams an opportunity, bro, before and eventually one of them are going to hit and then it's going to burn you. You know what I mean?
Who's got the better O-line?
I would say Detroit. They have the better O-line.
Think so? Over San Fran?
San Fran has the experience and they know that they have that guy. But we got to remember that the complete X factor for that 49ers team is McCaffrey. McCaffrey could run amazing behind a really good line and amazing behind a bad line. And doesn't matter.
And Debo just got hurt. I don't know if he's going to be playing.
His status is right now up in the air because of that injury.
That's wild.
So you're going to have to rely on CMC like they did this past game.
Yeah, but they also got Kittle and they got Ayuk.
Yeah.
And their defense, bro. They got a great defense.
Yeah. That's why they're a good team. They're a really good team. But CMC. That's going to
be an interesting one. I'm kind of rooting for the Lions there.
It'll be cool.
Kind of rooting for the Lions. And then I'm rooting. I think the Ravens got it with the Kansas City game.
I think so too. That would be it. It wouldn't surprise me if the Niners won. It wouldn't surprise me if the Chiefs won, right? Like, no way. Not at this point in the season.
No shot.
No way.
It's anybody's game.
Anybody's game, dog. How was your golf this weekend, dog?
Oh, my God, bro. It's in shambles, dog.
Damn.
I mean, I wouldn't say in complete shambles because, like, I can still hit irons.
Okay.
Like wedges and
That's
putts.
important.
But, bro, the driver is non-existent, bro. Like, I don't know what to do with that thing when it's in my hand.
You know what? Pause.
Pause.
The funny thing with the driver, Joel, dog, is that, like, when I've seen you be on with it, it's like smooth, easy going. You don't even think about swinging hard. It's not even like it's just a swing. It's just a swing. Your swing. Shit goes far. Yeah, that'll work. And that shit's in the middle of the fairway, right? But then, like, for myself and others, I've noticed that when the driver is off, it's because we're doing a combination of things wrong, dog. You know what I mean? And we think it's one thing, and then you're trying to just focus on that one thing and try to, instead of resetting from the get-go. That happened to me this weekend, too. I went out of bounds on a drive, and I was like, fuck it, dog. I'm going to hit again. Instead of being smart golfer, let's take my medicine, and we'll just take our third shot up there, you know? And I'm like, nah, fuck it. I'm going to hit another tee shot with my driver that I had already gone errant with. And I'm already in my mind pissed off about it. So I'm for sure this one's not coming out good, dog. And sure enough, it didn't.
If you're going to with that mentality, dog.
But that's the most of the times that's the battle, dog. When you hit that errant one,
mental.
right?
That's all.
Especially off the tee.
You don't have a 3-wood, do you? I
don't. I use a hybrid.
Yeah, you don't use that off the tee.
Depending on the yardage, like I was telling you with part 3 at Pembroke Lakes, that's like 197 from the Blues. Fucking pollo, dog.
Well, you should have just played the whites.
I should have, man. But look, I'm still really proud of how I did. 100,
no, absolutely.
103
absolutely.
from the Blues, dog, is like really good, right?
You played with the group and all that, but don't ever be afraid to be like, hey, bro, I'm more comfortable playing from the whites.
Yeah, right.
You're paying for it, bro. You know.
Yeah, right. It's like, yeah, true.
You're around the golf.
True, but shout out to Pembroke Lakes, man. They hooked it up too for your boy for the birthday. But on that particular hole, I was like, man, I just need to get it out there. I pulled out my driver out the bag and I was like, what are you doing, Steven? Put that shit back. So I was like, let's grab this 5-iron, right? And we know I can hit this between 190, 200. Let's see how far we can get, right? Cool. Boom. It ended up like on the fringe, but I was still far from the hole. He hit a hybrid or like a 3-wood or some shit like that, right? Boom. And he was able to get on the green. I was like, if I would have hit my hybrid, for sure I would have been on the green. You know, for sure I would have been on the green. And then I end up fucking lag putting, missing the par putt, and then just tapping it for bogey.
Could have been pars.
Yeah, could have been better
if you were on. But yeah, I know all about that mismanagement of clubs, bro. I hit a bunch of shots where it was like, damn, I should have taken one less. I should have taken one, bro. Sunday,
especially with the weather, right?
Sunday was so bad, bro, because like tired, sore, not hitting like the ball well already as is. And 5 holes in, bro, I look at the group and I'm like, bro, you guys want to just switch this up and play a scramble? And everybody was like, yeah, dog, let's switch this up.
Excellent.
When we got out there it's like 8 o'clock, like 7:38, and it was like 50 degrees.
Yeah, bro.
Something like that, like 40 something.
Yeah.
Cold as shit. And then it like the sun came out, it warmed up, and it got better. The scramble made things way better, bro. Like, honestly, we don't play enough scrambles. I always say that whenever we play one, I'm like,
1,000%.
We got to play more scrambles, and we never do. People they're like, no, I just want to play my own ball.
Yeah.
And I get it. I get that, but scrambles are so much fun.
It's just a lot easier if you're being honest. You know what I mean? Because like
what is
playing a scramble, a lot easier to know what everybody's shooting, a lot easier to keep score, a lot easier to keep track, right? When you're not playing like that, and you're doing the individual joint, like, what'd you get? Counting your hit strokes, and then like, oh, I gotta, and you're like, okay.
And especially when your group of friends is high handicappers, you know, it just makes it much more enjoyable, the whole round enjoyable for everybody else. Like you're still like your bad holes are a bogey.
Exactly.
Like, I'm getting mad over here. Me and Frank are like, damn, we missed that par putt from 20 feet.
Right.
You know, and we got a bogey on this hole. It's like, all right, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Good holes are more often than when you're just playing by yourself, bro. I don't know. I can't wait. That's for sure. We're gonna do it on the trip.
Yeah.
Definitely gonna do a 2-man scramble one day. Yeah. I got to figure out who's all in. Deadline's coming up. Hope the boys get the deposits in.
Everybody's hyped.
It's going to be a good round, that two-man scramble.
I think it's going to be a good idea too if that's one of the days that we're trying to play twice, right? Because scramble probably a little bit quicker. Hey, go take a break, hour and a half. Go eat whatever,
and then we do the 4-man.
And then we'll do the 4-man in the afternoon.
That'd be sick,
right?
I got to work it out. I got to work those details. Got to
figure it out.
A lot of details, dog.
But it's going to be a sweet, sweet tournament, dog.
The devil's in the details.
Always.
Oh, and I got possibly a new new group I'm going to be working with to do the shirts and stuff like that.
Really?
I'm going to get a quote.
Interesting.
Yeah, let's see what they say. I want to do like a long sleeve, like a little sun shirts or whatever.
Yes.
I want to do like that.
That's a great idea. Yeah, especially like a little warm-up shirt. Yeah, I like that.
Just to chill, in the summer, you can take it out, wear it to the beach and shit. You can wear it in the winter, whatever.
Why not? Why not, dog? With the new evolution of the... No, let me not say it.
It'll be the new logo for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
It won't be the OG logo. Everything that I do now is going to be the new one.
New and improved Miami Golf Course.
I got to represent, dog.
I wore mine last week, dog.
So. I just washed this one, bro. All these things were disgusting. Now it looks a little bit better.
Look at that. Shit still holds up, dog. You know who's not holding up?
Oh.
The Heat.
Oh my God, dog! I should have seen that coming, bro. What is going on with this team that we used to love?
Who knows? I don't think they know.
2 words.
What's that?
Jaime Jaquez. Give me a third. Junior.
Oof. I like that. They're definitely missing him and his energy, right? And it's crazy how, like, when we talked about the Heat throughout this season, obviously him standing out makes him more recognizable, like as far as what he's doing on the court. But just the way that we were thinking about his impact and how he's coming off a really good bench player, almost like 6-man of the year candidate. Obviously one of the top 3 rookies in the NBA, you know what I mean? And this is a dude who's really doing a lot of the work, the hard work that needs to be done, especially when Jimmy was out, right? And like Jimmy was missing games left and right. And Jaquez was the only consistent player, in my opinion. He was the only consistent player that you knew that every night you're going to get the same energy. There's plenty of effort, plenty of hustle, and this dude's going to work hard. Maybe he's off, maybe he's on, whatever. But since his injury, it's been bad for the Heat, dog, because nobody else plays with his intensity and nobody else plays with his type of heart. You know what I mean? Like his work ethic, dog, is beyond reach for anybody on that bench right now.
He plays 30 minutes a game, or averages 30 minutes a game, averages 14 points, 51% from the field, 35 from 3-point, 3.9 rebounds, 2.7 assists, 1.1 steals. So, I mean, that's active across the board. That's a lot of that's a Dwayne Wade type of, stat line right there.
And when you think about it, the only 3 people outscoring him
are the guys. That it's everything spread across.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, if you're talking about, hey, what's your, like, can he score though? The only people outscoring this guy is Jimmy, Tyler, and Bam.
Right.
Which are the guys that need to be outscoring him because they're the ones making the big bucks, right?
He's scoring when he needs to, or sometimes like when other people need to and they're not. Like that's where he's coming through. But what are we since he went down? I think we're 1-4 since he got hurt.
Since he got hurt, we've been 1-4, dog. And again, that 3-game losing streak has been bad. You lose on the road to Toronto, where you were never in that game. Never in that game. I don't know if you saw that game, but that was a blowout.
They were like 78.
Well, that's me. My bad.
Oh, my bad. Burrito.
Yes.
Weren't they like 70 points, 78 points at the half?
Yep.
That game?
They gave up 41 in the first quarter, dog.
Unreal, dog.
And maybe sometimes you just don't have it, right? Okay, you don't have it. But, dog, you give up 41, everything is falling for them. Nothing is falling for us. The second quarter starts, it's 41-18. Turn the game off. I'm not going to watch this shit, dog, because I know it's not going to get any better. Second quarter, they dropped 37 on us.
For sure. No, that first half was just, bro, how do you even let up that many points, bro? We talked about that the other day. The defense identity of this team, where is it?
But who's missing? Who's missing?
Because Jimmy's back.
He got back, but even still, he hasn't been.
He's not 100%.
He's not. Okay.
I'll just say that because I know.
Okay.
I know exactly how he's feeling today.
Okay.
I know what he drank. I know what he ate. I know how he slept.
That's really interesting.
Huh?
Nothing. Just saying, like, if he's not 100%, then he's probably not playing that best defense, right? He's probably getting beat a couple of times. Bam's trying his best. He can't guard everybody at the same time. And we still giving up fucking 78 points at the half.
That was unreal, bro. 78.
What? Again, that's not Heat basketball. I don't know how they fix it, because what we're seeing from this team is like, when it's good, it's good. Short stretches. When it's good, it's good.
It's not great, though.
It has not been great once.
Can we say that at least?
There hasn't been one game where I was like, this is a great game.
Outstanding basketball.
Outstanding basketball. And I'm not saying it because we have to blow a team out. It's just like, hey, we beat these guys by 12 points, but we dominated. We shot the ball well. We clamped them down on defense. They shot terrible. That's a good game for me, right? It doesn't have to be, we killed these guys by 25 points, smoked them. That could be a good night, a really good night for you shooting, and a really bad night for them shooting. But you need to have that defensive effort. You need to have some type of resemblance of that. And this team hasn't shown that, right? Where they can give us a great game. They won great games by like coming back, this and that. Cool. That's exciting, but you can't count on that. You can't summon that every single time that you need it or that you're in that situation. Not even 50% of the time, because the record shows that the Heat can't do that, right? And it leads me to wonder, what's next for this team? What's next for this team? How do we improve this team? Because if you're talking about having assets, right? What are our biggest assets, our tradable assets? Those are guys that you don't really want to get rid of, and we're not probably looking to get rid of, right? Which is Tyler, Jimmy, and Bam. So then you go to the next tier. All right, who are the guys here that we can probably get rid of and try to get some return? You're looking at a Duncan. Jaquez, unfortunately, is in there. Jovic, which I'm going to put a pin in that guy. I'm going to come back to him. You got your Duncans. I
heard Duncan, though, is untouchable, according to sources inside of the Miami Heat organization.
Why do you think?
Maybe, let me rephrase that. According to sources inside of the Instagram Association of Basketball Miami Heat Relations.
Yeah.
I heard a rumor that they don't want to trade Duncan, that he's untouchable.
They really like his development. He has developed extremely well under us. Obviously, that's what we do here. We develop players. And as his play goes, his money and his contract becomes more value, right? Like, you're getting the return on that. You're getting the return on that. You're getting the return on that. He's right behind Hawkins. 13.7 games, has played more, shoots a lot more, obviously. Puts up a lot more threes, obviously. You know what I mean? So, yeah, he's doing that. But Duncan makes himself, quote unquote, untouchable to the Heat because he's willing to learn, he's willing to work. He's shown it.
And he's on the contract.
And he's on the contract.
A favorable contract for the Heat.
For us. And if we traded that contract, we would expect a lot in return, right? We would have to find some type of equal market value for that guy. I'm sure it's out there. I don't think the Heat are exploring that. So then again, you keep running into names, and the names aren't good, bro. Caleb Martin right now hasn't played that much. And even in his play, hasn't been that same Caleb that we're accustomed to.
No. And with all the struggles and everything that's going on, dog, it's odd to hear things like that, like a Duncan Robinson is untouchable, or the shutdown of certain conversations around players who may be available before the trade deadline. And one of them in particular is a guy that happened to beat us in this 3-game stretch
against Atlanta
with the Hawks.
Dejounte
Murray, who happened to hit the game winner in that game, and then posted something a little interesting on Instagram, kind of referencing the Heat and maybe, showing his love and respect and admiration for the organization.
There's no doubt he wants to be here.
A nod, hey, I wouldn't mind being over there.
But the money.
The Heat don't, we just don't have a shot at making any kind of move, and that's a kid that I wouldn't mind having that guy on the team.
Absolutely. You would love to have that guy, right? That's like another scorer, another guy who's going to instantly boost your offense, right? Really help around the guard play, Take more minutes from fucking Lowry, from Josh Richardson, and all those guys.
Lowry, Duncan, a pick.
But who's gonna get rid of? Who's
cash
gonna
considerations?
Nobody's gonna take Lowry right now.
Atlanta,
you can have him. And they won't. They don't want him, dog. Unless it's a salary dump, and they're right now in a position where it's like we're kind of close, but we're not close. Maybe we can, maybe we can't. They're sitting in that 10th spot, right? They're 4 games out of that 8th spot. If they make a trade, it's to better the team, unless they continue to fall out. But even still, in that sense, what's Atlanta willing to take? You're telling me they're willing to take Kyle Lowry and fucking Kevin Love and something else? Like, I don't even think we would trade Kevin Love. You think they're taking fucking Caleb Martin? You think they're taking Duncan? You know? I don't know if they're taking that because they're
give them everything until they say yes.
This happens a lot with Heat fans, right? Like, we overvalue our players because they fit our system,
right? And
how they were raised in our system. That's why we overvalue those players. We overvalue a Duncan. We'll overvalue a Jamal Cain. We'll overvalue a Caleb Martin. You know what I'm saying? Because we see these guys and we're like, we're gonna turn these guys into something. Where the rest of the league is like, we don't want to put in that work. Because the money at the end of the day is not going to be worth it. As far as like maybe return or not. Now, there have been occasions where it's worked so well that the Heat have built up a player, trade him before it gets too crazy, and we make some money, we get some picks, something that helps us maneuver down the line, right? And get a big player. Cool. Justin Winslow, he was one of those guys. Develop, traded him for some picks. We ended up flipping those picks into something else where we end up getting Jimmy Butler. That can happen. Cool. Doesn't happen all the time, but it's harder to...
When you're talking trades, though, that's the last big splash. Sorry to cut you off.
No, you're right, though. It is the last big splash. So I ask, if we're going to improve this team, how are we improving this team? What's the trade? Now, Terry Rozier's out there, right? His name has been thrown around there, too. He's probably like a cheaper option. You can probably get him for one of those guys that are one of our bench players and guys that we don't necessarily rely on too much. But how much better does Rozier make us? Are we challenging Boston? Are we challenging Milwaukee for the title? You know what I mean? A lot of that rests on Jimmy Butler. And if he can make magic happen again in the playoffs, late. And he's done it, right? In the playoffs, the dude has shown up. He's really done some amazing things. Pero coño, how hard has that been for him, right? How much can he do that for again? Like, I don't know if he can, dog. And that's not me being a hater. It really isn't me being a hater. But it's a fair question to ask, like, yo, is this guy going to go on another historic run?
He's played in 28 games this year. He's missed 15. And in those 28 games he's played, 21 points he's averaging. 5 rebounds, 4 assists. I mean, they're all still good numbers for us. 48% from the field, 39 from 3-point, 88 from free throw. I mean, those are all still good stats, even though he's missed 15 games.
They're good stats. They're not great stats.
They're not great.
They're not great. Stats
and that's what I would directly correlate to the Heat not playing at a high level and winning consecutive games or just winning games, period. When was the last time we lost? We had a 3-game losing streak, so.
Yeah, it's happened.
But when was the last time that it happened, dog?
Oh, yeah, it's been a little minute.
3 games in a row, bro, for us to lose 3 in a row?
It's been a little minute.
That's bad.
It's been a minute. That last time it happened was November, that Thanksgiving time, November 24, 5, and 8, I think.
Damn.
It's the way that we're losing too, Joel. It's like I said, man, like when things are going great, they're great. Which brings me to that pin that I put earlier on Jovic.
Knicks, Nets, and Bucks.
Yeah.
Those were the 3 losses.
Yeah. Jovic. He's been getting a lot of playing time. And everybody wanted to see him play. Everybody was like, yo, why isn't this guy getting the time? What's up with Jovic? This guy could help. Ba, 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 ba. A dog has not been playing that well. Now, granted, you really have to watch him in his movement and see, like, what else does he contribute to the game, right? Mm-hmm. But if you're playing 15 minutes and you only put up 2 points and you only grab 3 rebounds, man.
Get that guy out of here, bro.
Yeah. But
Can't get that guy no more minutes.
But we're starting him.
No valuable minutes.
We're starting him. He's starting next to Bam.
It's wild.
We're trying things out. But maybe he wasn't. There's a reason why he wasn't playing earlier. You know what I mean? There's a reason. There's a reason why Kevin Love can be in clutch situations in the fourth quarter and Jovic can't. I don't know, man. The guys that we're gonna be counting on, right, towards the end, I don't know if they're gonna be there when it matters, dog. I don't know. Think about it like this, right? If, let's say we're in a playoff game, it's third quarter. Out of the guys who play on the bench, Jovic, Kevin Love, Robinson, Highsmith, Lowry, Richardson, all of those guys, who do you think would grab the most minutes? Let's throw Hawkins in there, right? He's automatic. He's coming off the bench first, right? Boom.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the next guy after him?
Caleb?
I was going to say Duncan.
Okay, yeah, I would go Duncan.
And then that third one off the bench, depending on what the game needs, is going to be either Caleb or Kevin Love.
Right, exactly.
And that's the 8.
Kevin Love could be starting.
And that's
on any night.
Right? On any given night. So that's the 8 to 9 man rotation that we're having there.
Yeah.
Not great.
Not great. I was zoning off into the distance because I'm looking at a report here. There's a couple reports that have come out just a little while ago here, actually, that Kyle Lowry has unfollowed the Miami Heat or has removed the Miami Heat from his bio and unfollowed rookie forward Jaime Jaquez Jr. for whatever that's worth. So It might be something in the works for Kyle Lowry for us to get out of that relationship, which is at this point is a toxic one.
Failure. Complete failure. That move was a complete
probably the worst
failure.
Worst of Pat Riley's tenure here as a Miami Heat.
One of the worst.
Yeah, I would say the worst, bro.
One of the worst.
What was the other? What would be worse than
Whiteside's that contract we gave Whiteside?
Yeah, but we still were able to move Whiteside.
We moved it, and we're gonna get rid of him too. You know.
Yeah, but still, we even this Whiteside was putting up triple doubles with blocks and shit at that point when we did that. You know.
Yeah.
Lowry ain't doing none of that.
That guy offers nothing, dog. That guy offers nothing.
Nada, my friend.
And it's frustrating as hell, dog. Because it's like I said, man. There is a need for improvement on this team if we're going to compete to the level of expectations that we want to compete, that we expect to compete at. I just don't want to rely on Jimmy Butler going ham in the playoffs in order for us to win. I want Bam and Hero to help him get there. I don't need Jimmy to average 35 fucking points a game in the playoffs. I just need him to average 27, hit a couple of clutch shots or a couple of clutch free throws here and there, and let Bam give me that 20 points per game with 12 rebounds, and Hero, whatever you can throw in from a good shooting night. Go for it. I want to see that in the playoffs, not superhero Jimmy in the playoffs, because that's not too reliable. Those three guys playing together like that, that's much more reliable, right? But in order for us to get over that hump that we haven't been able to get to, there's going to have to be more than that. There's going to have to be more than that. I don't know if it's a guy on the roster, because I feel like we've seen the best of Caleb. We've seen the best of Duncan. Obviously, we've seen the best of Kevin Love, right? It could be Hawkins. It could very well be Hawkins that comes off the bench in the playoffs or starts in the playoffs and is like goes that extra level. It could be him because he's showing those type of skills, but you can't count on that because he's a rookie. And we don't know how he's going to hold up. I don't know what's the move. And I don't know what. It's very confusing right now what the move is for the immediate future and even in the next year and a half. Right? Because we're tied into a lot of contracts and into a lot of cap space.
We're going to know shortly because the trade deadline is in a couple weeks. It's not too far away.
Yeah,
so we're going to know where our eggs lie. You know what I mean? What basket they're in. Because if we don't make any moves whatsoever, which I don't foresee, we're going to say we're going to ride it out. We're going to thug it out with this squad right here. And it's, you're hoping for the best. You know, that's pretty much what you're doing. You're just hoping for the best at that point. Hoping that Jimmy is able to ball and give you those 30-point performances in the playoffs, and that Hero and Bam are able to supplement that with some additional scoring, and that defensively they find their way somehow. Because it's not looking like that right now. Like, this squad's not looking like that. Granted, that game against the Hawks, it did come down to a game winner at the end. It was a battle. It was a back and forth. But the Hawks, dog, like that's a team that we should be able to beat.
Every single time. At home? Get out of here.
At home, bro.
Get out of here.
Disappointing at home.
Get out of here. You better win that fucking game at home, dog. And then you go on the road and you lose a tough game last night while we were at the brewery to Orlando.
The rivalry, dog.
And again, not showing up. 105-87. Not showing up. Again, another first quarter, we only put up 19 points. Granted, they put up 22 points, but it's like, what? We can put up 20 points in a quarter?
25, bro. You need to be putting up 25 points in a quarter.
In this day and age, that's like the average, dog. That's like just normal.
What are we doing here?
You know? And I don't know what it is. Those slow starts
at home are deadly, bro. We get in those slow starts at home and there's no coming back.
Yeah, but it's the slow starts from everybody. Because even Jimmy didn't have it going yesterday. You know what I mean?
What did he finish with?
He ended up 5 of 10 for 15 points.
What is that, bro?
Caca. That's what that is. Hero rough, 4 of 11 from 3. Rough for 12 points. Rough. You know what I mean? Like that's that shit that. And you know what? I understand people's argument, especially Serge's. Like, yo, we're not gonna get anywhere if Hero doesn't improve his shooting percentage. And at this point, this is a guy who's making good money to be shooting like that. You know, that wild. And don't get me wrong, he can hit game winners, and he has that clutch gene, but he needs to have that good shooter gene. You know, he needs to take a page from a Jimmy Butler and just work more efficient shots, dog, because that kid is just too trigger happy, dog. Too trigger happy at times. And look, he's making 27 M's this year, dog. Like I said, third highest player, fourth highest paid player on this team. Crazy.
I want to see here. Another big thing. Bam had 5 turnovers in that game against.
That's always been his deal,
Orlando,
though, dog.
Man.
That's always been his deal, dog. And that's partly because we don't have nobody to really take the ball out of his hands, dog.
Yeah, he had a double-double, 22 and 11, but
shot really well.
5 turnovers, bro.
Rough, bro. And it's hard. And look at what we have to point out to be like, Bam could have done better here, right? Your turnovers, everything else is great.
Yeah.
Right. If you had more of those efforts, right? More of those efforts from 2 or 3 of those guys, we probably win that game.
If you're Tyler Hero, bro, and you're making all that money and you're putting up 12 points and you're watching Caleb Martin, who's making like $20 million less than you a year, put up 11 points, basically the same shit you put up, bro.
And bad shot selection.
How do you go to work that day, dog? Feel good about yourself, bro.
Bad shot selection.
Oh, yeah, no. Caleb did that on 5 for 7. Hero did that on 4 for 14.
Exactly.
Like
and 11 shots from 3, dog.
That's bad, bro. Yeah, 4 of 11 from 3. That's bad.
And shoot, I get it, all that, but man, you can't shoot yourself out of it.
You be having too many cold nights, bro.
Too many.
You can't be a 3-point shooter if you're gonna be that cold, bro. 11
cool.
shots from 3, you're gonna miss that many, bro.
I was cool with when you were learning that in your first 3-4 years of the league, how to score, how to get better at scoring, finding your areas where you're good, where you're not good, working on those. I was cool with all of that. Now you're in the big boy area. So I'm gonna treat you like a big boy. And if you can't shoot better than this, you're putting yourself on my radar to be like, yeah, let's trade this guy.
Here's the other trade radar guy, bro. Look, Kyle Lowry, bro. 25 minutes, 1 for 9 shooting. He was 0 for 6 from 3-point land.
I'd fight that guy.
0 for 6.
He'll kick my ass, dog, but I'll fight that guy, dog.
Bro, 0 for 6, bro.
Yeah.
What is that, homie?
Trash.
0 for 6.
And again,
can't make one.
Can't make one. And it's with him, it's more of like an effort thing. It's more of like, I think I'm better than what I actually am right now at this point in his career. You know what I'm saying? Like that reality hasn't set in for him. That guy to the
old folks home, bro.
I don't know. Maybe go play on a bad team, dog. Go be the man on a bad team. Go be the man on a bad team, homie. If that's what you want. Because if you can't put fucking anything here with pieces that are at least, let's say they're not superstars. At the very least, they're legit NBA really good players. And you can't make that work?
We should
the fuck out of here.
We should just ship them to Detroit, bro.
Yeah.
Make them go play with the Pistons.
Yeah. You want to learn, Papa? Dale. Peace. We're going to send you out there. And we'll take fucking a 2nd-round pick for you.
Bro, give me whatever you want, bro.
Send me a check.
Give me a pair of shoes.
For $50,000.
And 5 boxes of Jordans.
And 5 fucking... What Detroit's known for what? What are they known for over there in Detroit?
Detroit style pizza, cars,
all
Detroit
right.
Motor City,
Send me
Motown.
Send me some tracks.
And a Michael Jackson album.
And a Michael signed.
And the Temptations too. I want a signed
Temptations Records album. That's what I want.
Damn.
And $5,000 for Kyle Lowry, dog.
Take that.
Take it right now.
That might be too.
I'm giving it away.
Might be asking for too much.
I'm giving it away for free.
Bro, so can't wait till that ends, bro.
Who replaces him?
I mean, that's the thing. That's the thing.
I don't know, dog. But what my main concern is like I said earlier, what do we do right now? And how does that affect us in the next year? Because next year, 2025, right? 2024, 2025 season, Jimmy Butler's going to be making $49 million. Bam's making 35. Tyler's making 29. Duncan's making 19. Just saying. Guys that are not necessarily being considered as the best of the best of the best in their position. And that even includes Jimmy Butler. Weird position that the Heat are in. And it's even worse because you probably can't even get rid of Jimmy.
God, I can't wait till the playoffs.
Me too. If we make it. Because look, even all that shit, everybody was talking shit. No, hold on. Everybody was talking shit about the winning streak and the winning streak. We're kicking ass and we're doing good this month. Guess what, bro? Now we're right back where we didn't want to be in the standings. 6th place. Tied for 6th place with a better Indiana team.
10 out of 12 teams get into the playoffs, dude. We're good.
Yeah. Let's see if we make it like that. And if Jimmy, dons that Superman cape again, maybe he gives a Robin costume to Bam or to Tyler, dog, and those guys turn into something different in the playoffs. But that's what it's gonna have to take. Right now, the playoffs are top 4 is obviously not guaranteed, right? That's like a 25% chance, 20% chance that we end up in the top 4. Let's be honest. Boston, Milwaukee, Philadelphia, all better teams than us. And that 4th spot is going to be a battle between Cleveland, New York, Indiana, Orlando, and us. So 5 guys, 5 teams playing for that 4th spot. We're going to be on the road first round. Unless we hit a blockbuster trade and we get a superstar in here. More than likely, we're going to be on the road first round. And this is what? January 22nd.
I don't foresee a blockbuster happening, bro. There's not a blockbuster in the horizon, bro. Like, it's not. Like, brace yourself. This is the team. We just got to get right. We got to figure out a way to just stay the course. 6, 7 seed. Okay, play on the road. That's fine, bro. Lock the fucking come playoff time.
I don't know if they can even do that, Joel. And that's not a diss.
Sounds like it, homie. Sounds like you want to drop an album.
No, it's not a diss, but it's just like there's nothing that we can really count on right now. Except for Jaquez, but he's not here. And bam. That's it. There's not enough.
You can count on Hero.
No.
Throwing up way too many shots.
There's just question marks on everything else after that. Question marks on everything else after that. You mentioned Jimmy's missed 15 games. That guy's making $45 million this year, dog. That's a lot of games. And in those 15 games, let's say he only plays, half of those games, 7, right? Less than half. I'm pretty sure that we're winning 4 of those games if Jimmy plays.
Yeah, but he's back now, though, and we're not. Lost a couple with Jimmy.
We lost a couple with Jimmy. One was a crazy shot, right? The one with the Murray shot, okay, cool. And the Orlando loss was bad. Now we're following up, and we have they have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday before they play again against Memphis. At that point, right? At that point, we better be seeing a completely different Heat team. Don't go out there and lose to Memphis at home.
Oh my God, bro.
After being off and coming back the same day from Orlando, please don't do that.
You can't make it a 4-game losing streak, bro.
You can't. That's when we put them, like, they're putting themselves
Blasphemy.
No, man, not that. It's just like they're putting themselves in that in the worst possible situation. And the hardcore Heat fans are gonna be like, but we've been here before, dog. Yeah. And the 3 times that out of the 20, we've been successful. Let's try to avoid that. Why is that so bad? You know what I mean? To not be like, fuck it, we'll get there. Just put us in the playoffs. No. Those are teams that are bad, that are just hoping to make the playoffs. and think that we're gonna flip some switch because we have Jimmy Butler, dog. Get out of here with that. That's just not realistic. We have to be more realistic than that. I don't know, man. 2 games at home, tough. Memphis, good team. Then we play on Thursday back-to-back against Boston. Tough. Before we hit the road to go play Saturday in New York. And then come back home against Phoenix and Sacramento, who are good teams. So we're going to be facing this tough competition. Jimmy's still coming back to get 100% from his injury. Hero's been off. Bam's been playing well. We haven't had any news about when Hawkins is coming back. And Kyle Lowry's still on the team. No, la cosa tan buena.
Yeah, it's not looking great. You know, I'm looking at here, bro. I'm looking at all the standings and stuff. And obviously, besides the L3, you know, the Wizards are the only team doing worse with the 4-game losing streak right now. But they're 7-35, so that's expected.
Right.
You know, we need to not go on a 4-game losing streak right now, please. But our points per game, bro, we're in the 6th spot with 110 points per game. There's so many teams below us that have way more points per game for us, including the Wizards. The Wizards score 115 points per game.
Yeah. No. The stats will tell you that we're in more games than that we're not, right? Obvious. But when we're looking at the record, right? And you look at the Heat like, damn, we're 12-11 on the road. That's pretty shitty. We're 18-13 in this conference. That's pretty shitty. That's pretty shitty for a team that's supposed to be contending for a top 4. Because when you look at the top 4, you're like, well, Boston, they're 20-1 at home. That's really good. Milwaukee, 19-4 at home. Well, that's pretty good. 16-6. That's pretty good. Miami Heat, 12-8. Oof. Oof.
Yeah, that's not how we play, bro. We usually do really well at home. Like it's normally a lock.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's normally like, hey, the Heat are playing at home. Like that's favorable for them, bro. These home losses are stacking up now, dog.
Yeah.
8 of them so far on the season.
We just gotta, bro. Again, dog. Like. We're not that good. We're really good in close games, right? If it's 3 points or under, Heat are 6-2. But when those games are 10 points, who's going to score? Whether we're up 10 or they're up 10, bad record for the Heat, 7-8. We haven't been good against 500 opponents, 7-13. Those are us playing good teams that we're going to be facing probably in the first round if we don't lock down one of those 4 spots.
I think they call that Miami Dolphins syndrome.
They are suspiciously 17-6 against teams that are below 500.
MDS.
I'm just saying.
MDS.
I'm just saying.
Oh boy. Hey,
yeah, they're gonna have to figure it out, dog. I don't know how they're gonna figure it out, but that's Pat's job, dog. You know, and he's been very quiet recently. I haven't seen too many articles, but you gotta do something.
Time is ticking.
Time is ticking, my boy. Figure it out, Pat. Let's see.
I trust you, Pat.
We trust him, but let's turn that page. Let's turn that page. Start with getting rid of Kyle Lowry, and we'll go from there.
That's the first page.
That's the first
page on the book.
Throw it away.
Throw that shit as far as you can.
Don't even try to make it in the garbage. Just throw it away. Dog.
Just get rid of it.
Just throw it away, dog. Let's talk a little bit about the Panthers. Let's sprinkle this in real quick. This is a team, Joel, that has been up and down. We saw an amazing streak. 9 games, killing it, boosting themselves up the top of the fucking conference. And yet these boys have gone out there and done just like the Heat. Lost 4 games in a row.
Oh, my God. Not the
Big bro trying to be like, little bro trying to be like big bro. What the hell is wrong with these teams,
the
dog?
parallels, bro. It's wild.
It's wild.
I mean, he didn't go on a 9-game win streak, but
no, that God forbid, right?
Shit, yeah. These guys, we were just saying we don't want the Heat to go on a 4-game, and these guys are in the midst of a 4-game losing streak. All while Boston has gone on a 4-game win streak to separate themselves even further. Not looking great, man. What's been going on? Talk to me. What's been happening these last couple games?
I think it's just bad defensive play, bro. Because if you think about it, we've given up 18 goals. 18 goals in 4 games. Like, that's way above the 3-goal a game average, right? Like, way above there. And in those games, where we expect the Panthers to be better defensively, right? They're not. And then it feels like once they get down or the game is tied going into the second period, the other team just wants it more. And we end up losing that period. And it's like, whoa, now we can't recover. The game's too much out of hand. We have to push and stretch for it in the third period, which obviously is much harder to keep coming back, right? Like the game against the Devils, down 2-0 to start the first period. End up, bringing a goal back in that third period, only to give it right back to the Devils to head into the third period 3-1. Guess what? They put another goal on us. Game was over. Because we're going to have to push for the goal, right? Same thing against the Ducks. First period, we go out there and it's like, hey, let's get out there, right? Boom, go down. Then we come back, 2 goals. And it's like, all right, well, let's stop fucking around. Give up 2 goals to Anaheim. End up having to get those 2 goals back to only give up a heartbreaker in the third period to go to overtime and lose 5-4. And you're like, it's an overtime loss. All right, yeah. But that's your second loss in a row, right? And that's been the main component for the Panthers. If they can avoid losing streaks, then they can turn more games into winning streaks, right? Or at least balance it out where it's like, all right, we lost 2, but we're going to win 3 out of our next 4, right? Not the case.
No, the bounce back, bro.
The bounce back was not there.
Hasn't been there.
And I think that game against Anaheim stuck in their head because they went up against the next game, right, against Detroit. Obviously a very formidable opponent. And in that second period, they finally won that battle. They ended up going up 2-1 heading into the third. But again, a late breakdown, right? A late breakdown. And then you give up that goal to tie the game up. And it's like, all right, we gave up the game tying goal, right? Just 6 minutes into the third period. I wonder how this is going to go. Rest of the period, teams are fighting, and the Panthers are actually fighting for their lives because Detroit was turning it on, sensing that were going to give up that goal. They survived the third period, didn't look that good to end the game. Sure enough, within a minute and 10 seconds, dog, Detroit goes up, game's over. Quick, goodbye. Panthers losing again at home. And that's not like them. That's not what we expected. You have 4 games at home to really, turn around and keep pace, really put yourself in that prime position for home ice advantage, or at least for that second half, right? To give yourself that boost to start the second half of the season, and you lose 4 straight games at home? Because that Minnesota game was ugly too. You give up 6 goals, dog. 6 goals.
I'm looking at it here, bro. The Minnesota scored 5 power play goals.
And the Panthers,
in that game,
0.
Yo, but for them to put up 5, how many power plays did they have? They must have gone like 5 for 5 or 5 for 6. Like
they did go 5 for 5 every single time. They literally penalized the Panthers. Try saying that 6 times fast.
Penalized the Panthers. I'm done.
No, it was 5 of 6 from penalty. Panthers didn't get any goals. Had 4 opportunities to try to get one, and again in the critical second period, they gave up 3 goals. To be down 2 goals into that second period. So even if you're battling back, you're only battling back to try to even it out. All you got to do is keep scoring 1. Every time you score, we're going to score. Every time you score, I'm going to score. You're never going to come back like that if you're down 2. So, yeah, man, I think the Panthers really, really have a problem on their hand.
No Barkov that game.
No, but still, I'm so above injuries right now for any of these 3 sports teams because I feel like that's a low-key narrative that fans and the media want to use to kind of say like, well, this is why this is happening. Nah, fuck that, man. Other teams, other cities, they're dealing with the same shit and they're going out there and putting up results. You don't think Boston has people injured? Of course they do. Nobody's playing hockey 100%. 45 games in, dog. Get out of here, dog.
I'm just saying, bro. I'm just stating facts.
I hear you, but like we can't
big on defense.
We can't point to those things, especially when we're in the game. We're in the game. Right? Heading into that third period, yeah, you're down 2 goals, but if you tell yourself, hey, we just got to tighten up defensively, not give up anything, and let the offense come to us, then man, we're giving ourselves a shot. But we're not doing that because as soon as that third period started, we gave up the goal, Joel. You get what I'm saying? So, like, don't blame Barkov not being there for us giving up our 5th goal by then.
It was also kind of a fluke night. Check this out from ESPN. The Wild came into the night with 5 power play goals previously this month, going 5 for 28 with a man advantage over 9 games. They got 5 power play goals over 9 games.
Yeah.
They went 5 for 6 against the Panthers.
Yeah.
Kind of a fluke night, too. They were just hot, too. You know what I mean?
Yes, Joel.
But it doesn't help that we were at home and it's a continuation of a losing streak to make it 4 in a row. That's a horrible beat.
You don't think they talked about that in the pregame? When they're scouting Minnesota and they're like, whoa, what can we do here to try to limit them? Well, on the power play, they're not really that good. Let's make sure that we're killing those opportunities. Give up 5 goals, dog? What?
That's wild.
That's wild, dog. That's high school, college shit. And you don't barely even see that in college, because it's tighter. It's much tighter. The defense is much tighter. And now they're going on the road for 3 out of 4 games, which they haven't been great at before the win streak, right? So now the Panthers are finding themselves playing this mental battle to try to come up with some type of answers because they don't have, again, Barkov was off that game, but it's not like they have major injuries that they're dealing with. Big Bob is playing, Kachuk is playing, albeit quietly as hell. Sam Reinhart's still doing his thing. You know what I mean? There's enough on that Panthers ice and in that locker room to keep winning games, to not lose games to Minnesota. That's for damn sure. There's enough on that ice, right? And I don't know if they're going to have to find that mental stability, right? To say, yeah, all of that was bullshit. Let's get back to focus on what we're good at and let's try to grind out games, right? Or do they say, maybe this isn't working in the locker room, we need to switch it up?
I'm thinking maybe we make a little trade. Kyle Lowry for Sam Reinhart. We'll put Kyle on skates.
I heard he's good from the 3, dog.
And then we'll put Reinhart.
We'll put Kyle as a defender or a backup goalie. Just standing up.
Stocky, just
stand
wide
up.
body.
No
taking
pads.
charges.
No pads.
He just knows how to take a charge. He's
right.
Good. And then
that's a solid trade.
Yeah, dog. Why not? Let's try it.
Salaries match.
Let's figure it out, bro.
Salaries match.
Let's figure it out, bro. Come on. NHL, NBA, do a merge trade. Do the first ever.
That'd be wild. Yeah, man. I don't know if even with the Panthers, again, we're getting close to the All-Star break. It's coming up in February. That's cool that we have a couple of Reinhardt's obviously going to be an All-Star. He really deserves it. One of the best players this year in the NHL. But what's the move? Do they need more scoring? I thought that's why we got Kachuk.
Yeah, I think.
Do we have enough defense? Yeah, we got Montour, Barkov, all these dudes. What? Do we need another goalie?
Nah.
Yeah, solid as Big Bob. What's up?
Good enough backup. I think we have enough in that Panthers team. I would say we have more on the Panthers team than we do on the Heat. The Heat is I would love the Heat to make more of a trade, but the Panthers, it's I think they got the team. They have the squad. They just got to get it figured out. They got to get to the high level of play that they were, playing at in the playoffs.
I'll tell you what, though, and maybe this is me being extremely hard on the Panthers, but in comparison to last year, even when it didn't turn out great for them and they were turning it up towards the end of the season, they had about 6 guys with 20 or more or 18 or more goals. This year, they only have 2 guys above 20, which is Verhaeghe and Reinhardt. And Reinhardt has been on fire. Verhaeghe's doing his job. Kachuk has 12 goals. Barkov, 11 goals. Bennett, 10 goals. No bueno.
Yeah, the Kachuk numbers are especially low.
No bueno. We need something,
We got by the time you guys are hearing this, we've already played Nashville last night.
On the road?
Hopefully, on the road. Then we come back home Wednesday to play Arizona. Friday on the road again at Pittsburgh. Saturday on the road again at New York against the Rangers, who are pretty hot right now.
They're that was a team that was struggling.
Figure it out.
And they figured it out.
They struggled last year. They had a rough year last year, but they've been good this year.
Even still, they had a little 4-game losing streak going. And when you look, it's all right, guys, let's get this tough, ugly win at home. And since they've done that, I think it was a game that they won in the third period against the Devils. They've been able to use that as, all right, everything that happened before that doesn't matter. Let's focus on what's ahead of us. I think the Panthers are still looking in the rear view mirror. Got to get that off the schneid, man. Got to get that team off the schneid. Get a win out there in Nashville. Not going to be easy. Not going to be easy, bro. And amazingly enough, they're still in second place in the Eastern Conference. Because while as good as the Rangers have been, the Panthers are right there, only 2 points behind. And we're going to face them in a little bit. So let's see what happens. Vamos, gatos. Wake the hell up.
Wake up, please.
If you were awake Saturday, you saw an amazing fight on UFC, I think, 271? have to be getting closer to 300, so they got to be like at 291 or some shit.
Yeah.
But I think it was 291.
Yeah, it might have been.
Yeah.
I don't know.
This dude, Duplessis, 297, kicked the shit out of Sean Strickland, bro. And those guys went to war. Those guys went to war, dog. You're seeing the images there of this amazing fight, and bro,
kind of a wild fight because I would have thought if it stood up,
Sean had the advantage, right?
That's what I thought.
And even crazier that Duplessis didn't try to take him down. And when they said it in the pre-fight conference, once they got to Toronto, like Sean Strickland was like, "Hey, we're gonna try to kill each other out there, right? And we're gonna like fuck this takedowns, and we're gonna go to war." Duplessis stood up quick as fuck and shook his hand. Let's go to war, brother. And I was like, I don't know if that's the move. Turned out that he was right, because he really put his hands on that dude, man. And while Sean Strickland is the superior brawler of the two, for sure, when you look at the significant strikes that were landed, Sean Strickland landed more, but they weren't in the spots, or at least in the timing, where it really makes a difference for the judge to say this guy won the round. You get what I'm saying? Like if you're throwing 500 punches and you land 180 to 200, yeah, that's a good amount. But maybe the timing was off, right? Maybe you were just throwing those punches earlier in the round. What happened towards the end of the round? 5-minute championship rounds we're talking about here, right? So like you got to play the long game as well if you know that it's not going to end. Because I don't think either one of these guys were ever in danger of getting knocked out. They were very aware of the space that was needed in order to battle like they were battling. But yeah, to get a knockout at that level, I don't think is realistic. And Duplessis really played the smart game, dog. He battled when he needed to, was avoiding and ducking him. And I think he avoided a big medical break, bro, because in the fourth round, you look at his eye there, like, yeah, it looks open, dog. But when he's just standing there.
Really. It don't look that open.
Oh, just the angle, right? But like right there, you can see that eye is completely swollen over.
Yikes.
Completely swollen over. I don't know how the fuck he saw out of that eye, dog.
I'm surprised they didn't stop the fight. Well, I guess he wasn't bleeding out of it like that.
It wasn't cut, dog. Amazingly, it wasn't cut. And Sean Strickland was just getting pounded, dog. Pounded. Especially in the lower legs. Duplessis was really taking advantage of that. Landed over 20 leg kicks, which slows anybody down, especially if you're a brawler, right? And you depend on having stability to throw those punches and combinations. Strickland just ain't have it, man. It's crazy. Which is wild because he was training with Pereira. And, Pereira's a fucking monster, dog. Now he's fighting in the light heavyweight division in the 205s. And I was like, damn, if you're learning from that dude, dog, like, that's a good dude to be a training partner with, right?
Yeah, and I saw he was helping him out with the Adesanya fight with that little move.
Yeah, but you know what? I think that some dudes aren't built to be champions or carry championships. You feel me? Like, not to say that Sean Strickland doesn't have the talent or the skills to be a top fighter or a championship type fighter. He obviously does because he was the champion. But it takes a special someone to hold the belt. And defend the belt, and defend the belt, and defend the belt, and defend the belt. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's how you separate yourself in MMA. Because we know that in that game, bro, any night can be your night, and any night could not be your night, right? Where you just get kicked right here a little bit, a little touch, the wrong way, good night, you're out, right? Fight's over. So to keep being a champion, you have to have a certain type of, I don't want to say dog in you, but like, you got to have some type of resiliency. And I felt like Sean Strickland wasn't used to all the attention that a champion would get and continues to get, right? You have to do media, you have to do this, like you're quote unquote the face at the time for the UFC.
A lot of pressure.
And it's a lot of pressure. The walkout is different. You're second, the crowd is cheering for you, not against you. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of things that go into that. Even being the hunted, some dudes can't be the hunted. They prefer to only be the hunter. And if that's the case, then yeah, you're going to find yourself in tough spots a lot of the times, which is interesting because now that Duplessis is the champion in that middleweight division, like there's a lot of dudes. There's a lot of dudes in that division. And I'm like, I don't know if Duplessis can handle those dudes, dog. I don't know if you can handle those dudes. The first thing that came to my mind was Izzy. Both South African. I don't know if Izzy comes back at 100% mentally, not physically, mentally. I don't know how he doesn't wipe the division again. He beat Robert Whittaker, who's currently ranked third. Beat the shit out of Jared Cannonier, who's ranked number 4 right now. He lost to Sean Strickland. Yeah, but we just saw Sean Strickland get lost. Marvin Vettori, that guy's a nobody. there's, there's talk of Cosma, Chimave, the loco with the beard. I haven't seen him fight the likes of a Sean Strickland or even Duplessis or any of those guys. Robert Whitaker.
And if you're talking about the money, I mean, probably an Adesanya Duplessis fight would probably be the best moneymaker.
That would be it. Not even Usman. I feel like Usman has to stick in that lower division and try to go get that belt back. You know what I mean? Make that weight cut a little bit easier because you can't bang with those guys up in middleweight. It's too heavy. It's too heavy for that guy. I don't know, man. That division doesn't excite as much as the other divisions, but it will be interesting who holds the crown and for how long they hold it. Because there are some rumors that now that Johnny Eblen, who fights in Bellator, he also fights in middleweight, there might be a contract buyout. He's currently the champion there. Like, once you're the champion in Bellator, like, that's like the top of the top of the top. At some point you're gonna have to go over to the UFC. How soon does he make that jump? And is it in time to catch a Izzy, to catch a Duplessis, to catch a Sean Strickland while those guys are still those guys right now? Let's see. It'll be interesting for UFC, man. But those dudes always put a good card together, bro. Those dudes always put a good card together. The next super one is February 17th, Volkanovski versus Tapur, UFC 298 out in California. That's gonna be a banger, dog. Robert Whitaker, Paulo Costa's back that fight. Yeah.
When is that?
Middleweight.
April?
That's February 17th.
Oh, February. Wow.
Yeah. These dudes are going to be every month, baby. They ain't missing on that check, dog. They ain't missing on that check. Before we wrap up, in the golf world, I wanted to bring this up to you. Did you hear about that amateur who won that tournament that decided to go back? What were your thoughts on that, dog?
What do you mean he decided to go back?
Well, I read today that he was he wasn't going to go play in the tour. He was going to go home to be with his family, talk to his coaches and his teammates and stuff like that. He withdrew his name from the next tournament.
Huh. Interesting. I didn't see that. I did see that an amateur did win the American Express this past weekend, which was wild. Hasn't happened in over 30 years. Phil Mickelson, lefty, was the last guy that did that back in 91.
91.
So it's pretty unreal to see an amateur win a professional tournament, especially they had a pretty decent field. There was good guys in that field.
Yeah, man.
To battle. And for an amateur to go out there and battle 4 days and win that tournament, that's impressive. But I don't know. That's pretty wild. I mean, wouldn't you? What would you do, bro? I mean, you win a PGA tournament. Are you not just going to be let's keep writing this shit out?
The worst part is that he didn't even win the money.
What else are you doing it for?
Yeah, right. If don't get me wrong, he's a sophomore at the University of Alabama, right? So he probably went out there oh, fuck it, what do I got to lose? I'm gonna go out here, get the experience, have some fun, talk to a couple of the cool golfers that I like, try to take a picture, and I'm out of here, right? But then you find yourself in it, you're competing, you're playing well, now you're focused, you're locked in, and you end up winning it. And you're like, damn, I could have won $1.5 million. That would have changed my family's life, right? I would have been all these things. I would have hit endorsements, all this stuff. What's the move here? Because
maybe he's going back to consider all that stuff.
Absolutely. I really hope he is, right? But
NIL now?
Bingo, right? Now you're a face for University of Alabama golf. So maybe it wasn't as popular as it was before, but now you're a historic figure because you just won a tournament.
Facts.
Something that hasn't been done in over 20-something years, right? Yeah, bro, it's really interesting what that dude's going to have to do next, dog. It's really interesting.
I'm gonna look into it a little bit more. That's an interesting story.
Right? Yeah, man. Let's touch on it next week for sure, bro. But it's time to tell a friend, dog.
Oh, boy, to tell a friend.
To tell another friend.
Tell everybody that they know.
To tell everybody that they know that we appreciate them with rocking with us for sure. Make sure to head on over to the YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the notification button on the top, man. We're bringing you a lot of interviews for BKFC 57 going down February 2nd. Your boys are going to be at the Hard Rock, so you're not going to want to miss this one. Until next time, peace.